Well, of course, down here in Port St. Lucie, you have the beautiful beaches, a lot of wind, but the most important thing in Port St. Lucie will always be Tradition Field. Spring training on SNY is presented by Citi. The Miami Marlins take on the New York Mets. Hi, I'm Ron Darling. I'm here with Cliff Floyd, 233 home runs. I know I'm not in your book. You know why? I'm too old. But the Miami Marlins have a beautiful young outfield, and that's going to be one of the strengths of their team.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you look at what Marcell Ozuna, and Christian Yelich brings to this team, and then, did I forget the youngster, the stud, the man-child, and Giancarlo Stanton. They have one of the best nucleus in the NL East and all of baseball. And when they all on the field at the same time, they cause a lot of havoc.
And you got to be impressed with the Marlins all winter long. They tried to make sure that they made a lot of changes. They also made changes in changing 3/4 of their infield.
Yes, they did. And I think it's an upgrade when you look at the speed that D. Gordon brings to this lineup. Also, you bring in a Martin Prada, to sort of solidify the lineup. Mike Morris is right behind Giancarlo Stanton. He needs that protection. I think they have a good chance, in my opinion, to win the NL East.
Well, remember now, they get Jose Fernandez back in June or July. But pitching for the Mets today against this vaunted Marlins team is Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler, outstanding year last year, 11-11, ERA 3.5. But he went an entire month where he did not lose a start in 10 starts, going 6-0. The Mets hope for more months like that this season.
Welcome to our
New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Verizon Fios. Only Verizon Fios comes with Speed Match. Upload speeds as fast as your download speeds. By Land Rover. Visit your local certified pre-owned Land Rover tri-state retailer. By Citi, proud sponsor of the New York Mets. And by Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Well, here today's Mets pitchers brought to you by Land Rover. see Zack Wheeler getting the start, but you're going to see some familiar faces with Henry Mejia, Familia, and Chase Bradford filling up. Carlos Torres and Vic Black could also throw later in the game. And here's the WB Mason. Take a look at the Mets' upcoming schedule. You can see all of our beautiful colors, but the one thing about this East Coast Florida spring training, Cliff, is that you spend a lot of time playing the Marlins, the Cardinals, and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, you know what? I look at that and I wonder at some point, are we going to stop seeing these, starting pitchers that you're going to see during the season? I think we knocked it out yesterday a little bit that you're going to see some of our starters, maybe go pitch a B game, right? Just so you don't have to necessarily get the, I don't know if it's more of, when you see these guys and their tendencies or whatever, but I think you'll start seeing, if we face the Marlins down the road, that you might see Zack Wheeler if he's scheduled to pitch, if we go in the B game.
Well, Mets and the Marlins when we come back. Beautiful day here at Citi Field. David Wright, one of the great times for kids. Get some autographs.
Alexa, I'm so
Live Mets baseball is back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Here's a Toyota starting lineup for the Miami Marlins. Valdespin, the ex-Met. Dietrich, Marcelo Zuno had a great year last year. Morse, Salto Lamacchia, Jeff Baker, Don Kelly, the ex-Tiger, Cole Gillespie, and Reed Brignac, who played last year for the Philadelphia Phillies. Terry Collins with the umpires today. It seems like in spring training they always have a youngster out there to mirror Terry Collins as he goes out there to talk to the umpire, so he's got to keep it G-rated.
Yeah, he does.
There's usually a lot of those conversations that tend to be a little more PG-R rated, but Terry Collins doing a nice job with the youngster. We had 3 over the weekend, but we got 4 umps today, which is nice to see. And here comes the Mets. And Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler, you know, the 11-11 record is a little deceiving. The struggle, the base on balls with 79. But he went through those 10 starts that I said in the open where he went 6-0, and he was exactly what you think he could become. That 1 month, if he can turn it to 4 or 5 months, he's going to have some kind of year.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I look at him, and it's all about placement. It's all about where you put in the baseball consistently. It's all about establishing the fastball, working on your secondary pitches in spring training. But I love the second half of the season. I mean, he went through some stretches where he didn't lose a game from June to August.
Right.
So that was awesome. Take a look at Terry Collins' defense today. Let's take a look at the Rams' defense. John Mabry gets the start on left. Matt Decker in center, and Curtis Granderson. Pretty much the same as yesterday. In the infield, we got D. Wright over at third. And then you got Daniel Murphy coming back from that hand contusion he had the other day. Good to see him back in the lineup. Michael Dyer back over at first. And then the battery of Zack Wheeler and Kevin Plawecki behind the dish.
You didn't know you could speak Polish, did you?
No, I was like, hey, what the heck is going on?
Very good. There's Murph. There's Plawecki behind the plate. The game I did a couple of days ago, he hit a shot to left center field that was kept in by the wind. There's the manager, Mike Redmond, for the Marlins. They made a big improvement last year, looking for postseason or bust this year. But going back to Plawecki, he hit a ball that would have been out of any stadium, but the wind kept it in. The wind will not keep it in today, folks. In batting practice, I had to turn my back being the ex-pitcher 30 years ago because balls were flying out of this ballpark. So expect to see some runs.
Let me ask you something, Ronnie. When you saw that, did you get the reports? Because you normally was inside when the games, you know, when you saw BP, you normally was inside. Maybe you came out for a little bit during the season, but in spring training, more times than not, you're probably inside getting ready.
When I was with the Cubs, if I'd come to take BP before the game, if I hit one out, I just drop the bat and leave. If I can hit it out, everyone's going to be hitting them out. Here's Jordani Valdespin leading off for the Miami Marlins. Of course, did so much good work with the Mets on the field. Off the field seemed to be a little bit of a problem. Always had talent, always has had power. Ground ball to Wright. Over to his right, sidearm throw, and in time to get Valdespin for the first out. One pitch, one out for Wheeler. Nothing better than that for a pitcher.
That's always good, but guess what? Hitter, you going, hey, you know what? What you doing? If you're the guy behind him, you're not even ready to go up there yet.
Hitting second for the Marlins, Derek Dietrich, who looked like 2 years ago he had the job locked at second base. Ended up getting hurt. Donovan Solano did a lot of the playing at second base, and now really just not really fighting for a position. That is D. Gordon's position at second base with those 64 steals. But
yeah, to your point, Rodney, being down in South Florida, getting a chance to see Dietrich, he sort of had a little run-in with Tino Martinez in the batting cage, and I don't know if he fell out of favor with the team, but some things didn't go the way you would like them to go.
Well, I think Tino Martinez was a big well, Jeffrey Loria, the owner, was a big fan of Tino Martinez. Tino was kind of forced out because of that batting practice incident. And for you folks at home, it was about, this is hard for me to say, picking up the baseballs in the cage, where the players were deciding not to do it and making Tino did it, and Tino said no. And Dietrich, I don't know what part he played in it, but it ended up being a big part as far as his movement here in the Marlins system. Good breaking ball there by Wheeler, and taking that call third strike is Derek Dietrich. That's a pitch that we didn't see a lot of by Wheeler last year. We saw it thrown mostly for a ball, but very controlled. And one of the things you see early on in this game is every pitcher has come out for the Mets, usually in spring training, really firing. It looks like he is totally under control so far. Marcell Ozuna, look at those numbers. Those are numbers that not a lot of fans know out there. Fantasy members know it, but not a lot of fans know.
Another thing with him, he has tremendous arm, plays, man center field for him, can play right field, can do a lot of things that Mike Redmond needs him to do out there in the outfield. And I look forward to seeing him a lot. As far as his career going, prolonging it, longevity-wise. I mean, you look at it, Jake Marisnick was the guy ahead of Marcell Ozuna before he got traded. Nothing was talked about Marcell. He got hurt, and he wasn't even on there, on the radar for so much. And then here you go, Jake Marisnick's gone, and now he's a new man.
Good slider there by Wheeler to get ahead of the count 1-2. Ozuna 2 years ago, he played right field. When Stanton got hurt, you said, boy, this kid is going to be fantastic. You're right, he got hurt, but he found a place in center field last year. Again, a slider fouled to the left side by Ozuna.
You know, one thing with those numbers, Ronnie, is when you have those numbers, as we saw, 23 and 85, now you become a focal point in the meetings. Now he is the guy, you know, that we need to figure out how we can get him out consistently.
Ground ball again to Wright. Second throw, it'll be a long one. Sidearm and in time. At the end of the top of the first, Wheeler 1-2-3.
Grandpa Bo.
Here's the Geico Mets starting lineup. Curtis Granderson, Ruben Tejada getting the start as short. David Wright, Michael Kadire, Daniel Murphy batting down and also coming back from that contusion. Mayberry, Plawecki, Den Decker, and Garen Cecchini playing third base. As David Phelps' numbers last year with the Yankees, where he went in between the bullpen and starting, 5-5 record. Not a hard thrower, a guy that really relies on control, works that slider, has a good changeup. Sure, Curtis Granderson familiar with Phelps.
Yeah, he is. And that's one thing about having a guy like Phelps in your rotation. He can be a long guy, he can be a short guy, he can be whatever you need him to be. He did so many different things for the Yankees last year.
Lined right to the third baseman where the charts got Curtis Granderson with the first out.
Let's take a look at the Rams-Marlins defense. Left to right in the outfield. We got Cole Gillespie, Jordani Valdespin, and the stud Marcell Ozuna. In the infield, we got Don Kelly, Reed Brignac, Derek Dietrich, and Mike Morse, the new acquisition this offseason, the battery of David Phelps and Jared Saltazamakia.
I love the way you say Rams-Marlins defense. I'm thinking of the fearsome foursome and then the funny, the good helmets. Strike there by Phelps to Tejada. There's the numbers for Ruben last year. Only 5 home runs, 119 games. It's going to be an interesting spring for Tejada because it's just the opposite. Wilmer Flores was always behind Tejada. Tejada was the #1 player. Now he comes trying to fight for a position, fight to play all 3 different infield positions other than first. And you know, it takes a lot to go from the #1 guy to the hanging on guy.
Yeah, well, you know, to add to that, I think the one thing, the light switch is on. It's going to be on the whole spring.
Ground ball to shortstop. Beautiful, easy play made there, and 2 outs here for Phelps in the first.
And when I say light switch, Ronnie, what I'm getting at is some guys come to spring training and you have a set role. You can come in and get yourself ready to go. That's not the case with Mr. Tejada, but he has to understand that and understand if you want to play every day and make a name for yourself, guess what? You don't have to go hit 400, but you got to have a better spring. You got to do some things that make them believe that, you know what, you're ready to play every day. It may not be here. It might be somewhere else.
Well, David Wright comes to play with great applause here and a good crowd on this Monday afternoon here in Port St. Lucie. 82 degrees. Sorry to say that, folks.
Yeah, it's all the people up in New York. Huh? It's like, oh, you're rubbing it in, Ron.
I was there most of the winter, so. Although the temperature, I think, in New York coming up this week is supposed to warm up a little bit, so maybe in the 40s, finally, for the folks to get thawed out a bit.
But I'll be good because I'll be up there Wednesday, so I'll pack a little bit differently with that news.
There you go. There's Michael Kadire on deck. I think Kadire is going to play a huge role in David Wright's year this year. And you say, boy, what does that mean? They're friends. They've known each other since they were young. Kadire's a smart professional hitter. He'll be able to point out some things that'll help D. Wright. Boy, Phelps overpowering in that first inning as he strikes out David Wright to end the first. 0-0 Mets Marlins. Well, what a job by Jeffrey Loria's staff in Miami. Aaron Crow, the reliever from Kansas City, a #1 pick at one point of the Washington Nationals. D. Gordon with those 64 steals. Aaron, who hasn't decided yet if he's, he has decided, but for a time there he was trying to decide whether he was going to play or not. But they made the most moves of anyone in the National League East. And Michael Morse, who's up now, had 2 RBIs in Game 7, including that game winner.
Yeah, I don't think you could have a better offseason than the Marlins. I really don't. I think they addressed every issue that they needed down there in South Florida. I think when you look at the guys they brought in, they all are major leaguers. They all been in the game for a long period of time, or a good period of time, and done some good things in this game. So when you talk about experience, and you talk about guys that can actually play the game and help you tremendously down your roster, D. Gordon speed, Mike Morris power, protecting your stud, and Giancarlo Stanton. So many good things, Ronnie, that it's gonna be really fun to watch the NL East.
That ball hit Morse. Wheeler trying to come in twice. One for a strike, and then this one there hits Morse right on the shoulder. This might be the only time right off the elbow, in fact. So that would hurt an ordinary human, but doesn't hurt Michael Morse.
Well, no, you know, that little laugh right there, a little sheepish laugh, is one of those ones of going, ha ha, that hurts. Like, no matter how you look at it, you're going, yeah, that's going to leave a mark.
Okay, Jared Saltalamacchia now up for the Miami Marlins. See those 11 home runs and 44 RBIs. Saltalamacchia was on the Boston Red Sox team that won in 2013, but lost his starting job in the postseason to David Ross, but still was able to sign a big contract with the Marlins.
Well, I think the one thing you look at with Jared is the fact that he did win, and he does bring that experience. But I think he's the biggest piece of what they've have going down there in South Florida. I think he has to have a good year for them to elongate that lineup.
Good breaking ball by Wheeler to get the count to 1-1. They can't even get the HIA on. They just why not take Jared off and just put Saltalamacchia?
Either that or just take off the LAMACC and just put Salty.
There you go. Boy, it's interesting to see Wheeler's using that fastball up a lot. Something we saw Madison Bumgarner use in the postseason, and I bet you it'll be a theme this year that pitchers are going to try to pitch up in the strike zone occasionally.
Totally agree. If you're a student of the game, you learn these things. You watch that and you see what guys' tendencies are to swing at that pitch. Absolutely.
Tried to come inside, just missed. 2-2. Saltalamacchia was one of those guys when he first came up, switch hitting catcher. Kind of said to yourself, boy, this might be the next Ted Simmons. Hasn't worked out that way for Saltalamacchia. He's been traded a couple of times, but success everywhere he's gone. Texas and then in Boston.
You know what? I was actually with Ted Simmons here when we saw Salty coming through the Braves organization, and we thought, I'm asking Teddy. Teddy's like, prospects mean nothing. And you know what? I mean, to his point, I understand exactly where he's going. You can be a prospect, you label it, and you have all the tools. But when you get to the major league level, you have to throw that in the garbage and go out here and play and be consistent.
Breaking ball swung through by Saltalamacchia as Wheeler gets a second strikeout. Not much of a break here, Kurt. I mean, Cliff?
No, the one thing I like is he's establishing. It's his secondary pitch. If he wants to use that as an out pitch, you know what? If I'm a Marlins hitter, I'll jot that down because he seems to have a good feel for it, and he'll use it through the season.
DH for the Marlins today is Jeff Baker. You see his number in 90 games. He's a guy that really usually just comes off the bench.
But it's always good to get 4 at-bats when you're a guy to come off the bench. Sort of just get the feel. I know it's 1 at-bats. I know every once in a while you get that at-bat as a pinch hitter, or a platoon type of player. But you got to take advantage of these 4 or 3 at-bats he gets today.
But when you have that open stance like that, Cliff, you really have to make sure that you close not only that front side, but that front shoulder.
Well, the front shoulder definitely has to stay in there. But one of my hitting instructors told me back in the day that that's a perfectionist type of swing. You're always constantly working on it to perfect it. And it's hard to be that type of hitter and be a bench player.
What's interesting is some hitters can prefer to kind of have one eye on the baseball when they're facing a pitcher, and others with that open stance always tells me that they want to see the pitcher with both eyes.
Yeah, and you know what? That actually happens a lot to guys who open up. I was a closed stance hitter that didn't have. I had 1.5 eyes on the ball.
Good breaking ball there, and that's what you love to see from Wheeler. The ability to be a professional pitcher is when you're behind in the count, can you throw a slider or a breaking pitch for a strike? He does there. Jeff Baker staying in the at-bat.
And to your point with that being able to establish that off-speed pitch, down 2-1, down 2-0, is as a hitter you can't just sit on fastball. You can't just stand in that box and go, you know what, he has to give in to me, because he will throw that slider or that curveball, because on a day like this he has good control of it.
Breaking ball down, gets to the full count. You know, it's interesting. We're seeing Plawecki doing the catching today. Travis d'Arnaud tried to break up a double play in a ball game and was cut by a spike. It was bleeding pretty profusely, but he did not need stitches. But probably one of the reasons that Kevin Plawecki is behind the plate today. Fastball upstairs provides the walk for Jeff Baker. Here's the standings in the National League East. The Mets and the Braves tied the second place behind the Nationals with those 96 wins. The Marlins, though, made a huge jump. Remember, they lost over 100 games the year prior.
Yeah.
So that's a big jump for Mike Redmond and his crew.
And I think when you just, at the door knocking on it, and I think this offseason, they can open it now. They can knock that door down. But you look at the Mets also in there, and you go, wait a minute. You won 79 games. You didn't have Matt Harvey. You didn't have D. Wright for the course of the season. Now you add the guys they have. You get Matt Harvey back. You get a guy, Michael Dyer. That's why I say the NL East will be a fun division to watch this year.
Don Kelly, the ex-Tiger, probably their 10th man for the Tigers the last, 4, 5, 6 seasons. He's a guy that can play the outfield. He can play the infield. Good left-handed hitter, some pop. And one of Jim Leland's favorites.
I was just about to say, Leland threw him in there during the playoffs. I'm going, wait a minute, Don Kelly?
Interesting to see Wheeler so far in this game. Both the right-handers, and remember he hit Morse, who is on second base now, and now the left-hander Kelly. One of the themes seems to be for Wheeler is that he is working that inside corner.
And to me, that's why you do this in spring training. I know hitters don't like it. I know, you saw Mike get hit, and if he hits another guy, now you start to get, you start to get a little rumblings over there in the Marlins lineup and dugout. But for me, you have to establish these things. You have to work on these things in spring training, because when the season starts, you can't work like you work down here.
Fouled by Kelly. Get the count to 2-2. I've got an interesting play on it. We'll show the initiatives later to speed up play. But I've always thought there's 3 things you can do to speed up play. One, have the umpires call the full strike zone. Now, that's not going to make you happy, but now I'm going to make you happy. Make the ball livelier. Yeah. Make it a little bit livelier. Put some bigger seams so I can spin it on you, but call the full strike. You start doing that, the game will go as quick as you want it to go. Good breaking ball by Wheeler to get Don Kelly. The big thing, Cliff, about left-handed hitters, they love the ball down and in, so tease them down and in, and then break it off the plate.
Yeah, and he's been throwing such a good off-speed pitch today that pitch looks like it's going to be a strike and it falls off. So to his advantage, I mean, once you get a good feel of that pitch, you come back to the dugout and you're telling your boys, man, look, it's going to be a tough day today.
Cole Gillespie now batting for the Marlins. That bug in the left-hand corner, as you saw, 90 miles per hour. One of the most important things for Wheeler, Zach, when you watch him, is that pitch count at 33 here in the second inning. How many games did you watch Wheeler last year where it was the first inning and that 33 number would appear?
You saw it a lot, and I think, and I always make reference to hitters meetings and what we look for. And you know what? If he's going to be a guy that's going to, nibble and beat around the bush and not throw the strikes, guess what? We're going to wait him out and put him in a position where we have an advantage, and that's the one thing that he saw last year. But he did correct it. To his advantage, he did correct it, in the second half of the season.
Wheeler's one of those main guys that you look at, and one of his strengths, it's a catch-22 situation. One of his strengths is that he has this beautiful, fluid, tall, languid motion to the plate, but it's a lot of moving parts. And when you have a lot of moving parts, it's sometimes hard to throw the pitch where you want to throw it over and over and over again. Ed Hitchcock's the home plate umpire so far. Pretty tight strike zone for Zack Wheeler. I think Ed Hitchcock's in the offseason is a policeman, so we're not going to mess around with him too much.
No. You know, I saw Zack, warming up before the game today, Ronnie, and this is what I saw. I saw him all over the place a little bit, and I had a good view because I can see the catcher from the back and where his glove is. So if he was set up inside, in the bullpen down here, the pitch was getting away from him. And you sort of watch these things, and I think, when you see him during the season, don't necessarily go, but you wonder, will he revert back to, what he was in the first half of the season? And he's still young, and I think that's one thing we have to understand is that he's still trying to establish himself every day he steps out there on that mound.
Reed Brignac up for the Marlins. When you think of Zack Wheeler, I think you're absolutely right. If you're not throwing to the glove, there's no purpose with any pitch. And if there's no purpose with any pitch, you're throwing, not pitching. Ball smacked to right field. One hop by Granderson in right field. He's going for the throw to third base. 3 hops to right, but too late. As the Marlins score a couple of runs. What do you do if you're a hitter and a pitcher has been struggling to find a plate?
I'm looking for that first pitch fastball right down the middle. And you got it right there. Brignac swings at that ball first pitch down the middle and smacks a two-out RBI base hit.
Well, you see the defense for the Mets. That ball is a hit right off the bat. And Granderson didn't think he had a chance at all at home plate. Decided to go to third, but Cole Gillespie got in safe. Danny Valdespin taking that first pitch for a ball. Grounded out to David Wright on the first pitch thrown by Wheeler here in this ball game. It was interesting. I was talking to Jordany Valdespin before the game for a long time, and I don't think I ever had a conversation when he was in a Mets uniform with Jordany. And he seemed very cool, calm, collected. None of the things that you thought you saw when he was in a Mets uniform.
And you want to use the word maturity. You want to use the word that you understand that this is an opportunity for you to get a second chance. Whether he was going to stand the game or not, you still want to see guys that if you have the potential, you have the talent, you don't want to, you don't want to miss the boat, miss the opportunity when it presents itself.
That ball inside, which is a good pitch there by Zack Wheeler. Not getting that pitch so far. What do you think of this pitch, Cliff? I know you're a hitter, so it's almost unfair to ask.
I'm going to say that's a strike. I'm fair. If you throw a strike, it's a strike. You call all day. That, in my opinion, is a strike.
Valdespin goes off after that high fastball, fouls it off. When you see a hitter nodding like that, hitter usually after they go after a pitch that might be close, borderline, as you see Chase Bradford up, a ball that might be borderline, they ask the umpire, was that a strike?
Yeah.
And you can see when they're nodding because they've asked him. Ground ball there at first. Nice backhand play by Kadire. Underhand throw, safe for first base. Doug Vines. Sorry, Mike Estabrook. I think that's Doug Vines, though, at first base. But the first base umpire saw that as safe.
This is a bang-bang play, and he's out.
Yeah, he's out at first base. No replay here.
But that will get overturned during the season, as we have no instant replay in spring training this year to the last few games of spring.
He missed that play, but nice, fine play by Kadire to his backhand. As you see Danny Worthen trotting out to settle down his young right-hander. Hey, listen, when you hit Morse, a couple of walks, and you get a close play that doesn't go your way, that's one of those plays when you watched Zack cover, you thought that play was going to be an easy play at first base. But as a pitcher, you got to make sure you don't take anything for granted and make sure that you get that foot down as quick as you can. And Valdespin has always had speed.
And I look at this totally as him getting over there a little bit too early, and now he has to stutter step a little bit because he's thinking that Mike Kadire is going to overhand it, maybe come up with a sidearm throw to get there a little faster. Because when you have the underhand throw, And we'll take a look at it again. You see Valdez get out the box really good. Zack has to slow down right here. He's suspecting the overthrow, and he gets the underhand, and it's a little bit too late in his opinion. He can't get his feet right.
Well, I used to yell when I went to first base, give it to me, give it to me, give it as quick as you can, because then I can make the adjustment. Derek Dietrich up for the plate. But these are some of the things that have hurt Zack in the past. You know, a hit by pitch, a couple of walks.
And that always hurts you. And that's when, you know, when you talk about capitalizing as a hitter, as a team, scoring runs, you capitalize on situations like that. Couple walks, hits, batsmen, and then, you know, you have to give in to hitters. You have to throw that first pitch fastball, as we saw, to Reed Breen that.
The big maturity for me in watching Zack Wheeler this season will be when he gets in trouble, because he's a pitcher that's always had a high whip. For you people at home, that means walks and hits plus hits per innings pitched. So if you have a lot of base runners, it's hard to have a good year, because at some point someone's going to get a big hit. And another hit to batters by Wheeler. This ball not that far inside. In today's game, because of the hitters being able to wear the protective gear, this one on his elbow of Dietrich, they don't get out of the way.
No.
And that caught Dietrich right in the pad.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought Major League Baseball had something to say. If you didn't have an injury, you weren't allowed to wear the armor that we've seen, like Barry Bonds of late. You know, some of these guys wear these big arm pads, and, you know, it's one of those things that you have to deal with, I guess.
You can wear it. It's just different sizes now. As Zack Wheeler doesn't get out of the second base as Miami pushes across 3 runs here against the Mets.
We thought our cable internet was fast.
But
Chase Bradford in the game for the Mets. See his numbers in 57 games. Only 10 walks in 70 innings. It's a lost day if you're a pitcher. What you want to do, I don't know if you'll see Zack Wheeler do it, but you might after 47 pitches. That's enough work, but boy, you don't hate to end your day like that.
I think the biggest of all that is the 2 hits batsmen and the 2 walks, right? I mean, that's one, you know, but, you know, to his I guess, point or advantage is he's worked on something today, you know, Ronnie, and I think that's the big thing. We saw him trying to establish an inner half of the play, and that's going to happen, but I like to see it down here. You see the look on his face, you know, that lets you know he cares. He cares about what he went out there and did today, and he's going to try to get better next start, and that's all you can ask of your young guys. Is to get better your next start, work on the in-between, and get back out there.
Bradford here in a tough situation, having to face the home run hitting Ozuna up at the plate. He gets behind him right away. Bases loaded here for Marcell Ozuna, who had his breakout season in center field for the Marlins last year. Three of those 4 pitches not even close by Bradford. Well, listen, you have a young guy coming in. He's nervous.
You know what, Ron? And he threw a first pitch, beautiful little slider for a first pitch strike. And I'm throwing, you go away from him and throw a fastball next pitch.
Well, not a fine thing to see, as you see the walks by Wheeler hurt him, and now Bradford walks in a run, the 4th Marlin run. The Mets had 10 walks in yesterday's ball game, so
they had 10 walks yesterday, and Boston had 4 hits.
In the old days, your pitching coach would take you after the game, and you would start running, and you would not blow the whistle until you stopped for a long time. Michael Morris up at the plate. I don't know if you're old enough, Cliff. He reminds me of Jack Clark in the Cardinals in the day. Ground ball up the middle. That topspin gets it into center field. Both runners are going to score as Dendecker gets the ball back into the shortstop Tejada. Well, Michael Morris is so big. He's so strong.
But you have to be able to do these things right here with 2 outs. Is not try to hit the home run base. Let just put the bat on the baseball, stay right back up the box. And then we've seen it twice. We've seen a knock out here with Reed bring that with 2 outs. First pitch, fastball, knock. We see a first pitch fastball to Mike Morris, knock up the middle. 4 RBIs in those 2 at bats.
It's the difference why you're a hitter and I was a pitcher. Bases loaded, I want to hit the ball out of the ballpark. First pitch to Saltalamacchia. That slider you were talking about, Cliff, for a strike.
And he threw it early, and you saw this one. This is a good one. This is the one we saw, against Ozuna. I'm thinking you got to go back to that. If you come in and throw that pitch, first pitch strike, and not have, any words of throwing it in the dirt or throwing it away, I'll come back to it. Because you might get that swing.
Yeah, another slider here by Bradford, swung over the top by Saltalamacchia. One of the strengths of Saltalamacchia is got tremendous power for a left-handed hitter to left center field. The sliders work for Bradford as he finally gets through this 2nd inning, but the Marlins score 6 runs. Chase Wheeler as they lead 6-0 over the Mets. David Phelps in his second inning of work with 6 runs to work with. That's pretty nice if you're working in a regular season game, but probably only get 2 innings, maybe 2 innings plus of work. It's Michael Kadire, the new free agent signing for the Mets from the Colorado Rockies. See his numbers in limited play last year after winning a batting title 2 years ago.
Yeah, I like the addition of Michael Kadire. I think he brings just professionalism and the fact that he can flat out hit. He's a pure hitter, and he can hit the ball to right field. He'll give you those 2-out RBIs that you need.
When you're facing a guy like David Phelps, and Kadire knows this better than anybody, he's a guy that you see Daniel Murphy on deck. He won't try to get you out inside too much. He spends most of his part on the outside of the plate. As Kadire skies this ball to the right side, Michael Morse surrounds it, calls for it, and gets it. Let's check with Steve Gelbs down there on the bench.
Thanks, Ron. Here with Wilmer Flores, getting the day off today after a few pretty good games, both offensively and defensively. Yesterday, you made 2 or 3 really nice plays in the field. How comfortable are you feeling at shortstop this spring?
Well, as you play, you're feeling more comfortable, and you got more confidence out there as you keep playing every day, and that's what's happening.
Terry Collins said yesterday after the game that he thinks knowing that you're going to be playing shortstop and only shortstop has helped you this spring. How different has it been than springs of the past where you're playing second base, you're backing up David Wright, where you can really zero in on your position?
Well, it's different now because you know you're going to play shortstop. You just focus on that position and you practice there. So that's one of the things that is helping me this year.
What was one thing you zeroed in on defensively to work on this offseason?
I think it was just my first 2 steps. I think that's the key of every infielder. And doing that Barwitz thing, he helped me a lot.
Yeah, everybody talks about that Barwitz method. What did he help you with specifically doing such a grueling workout like that?
I think it's a little bit of everything. He gives you speed, reaction, and all that stuff that you're going to need out there. And, it's a little bit of everything.
Wilmer, you and I were talking a little bit about this morning as well. Yesterday you made a diving stop early on in the game, and you were telling me that you were almost anticipating the ball was going to go that way, and that's a big part of growing defensively as a shortstop is kind of learning the pitchers and the hitters and anticipating where the ball is going to go. Can you expand upon that a little bit, just what you're looking to do here?
Yeah, it's going to be a big part for me. Just know the hitter, knowing the pitcher, and I think yesterday was knees through a cutter, and Bogarts, he pulls a lot. So I was ready to go to the right side, and it worked.
So the process for you're looking at what pitch the pitcher's throwing in any given count. You also have to know what the hitter has a tendency to do. That's the type of knowledge that you're trying to internalize on a daily basis?
Yes, it is, definitely. You got to know who's pitching. You got to know the pitcher's velocity and the hitter's tendency.
Offensively, you've also gotten off to a nice start, as I mentioned earlier. Kevin Long, working with Kevin Long, we've heard a lot of guys praise the work that he's done so far. What have been your interactions with him, and how do you think he's helped you?
Oh, he has bring a lot of things. He's not trying to change anything. He's trying to just try to get the right pitch and just hit it. But he's not really trying to change anything.
Mayberry singles up the middle there, so Mets have a base runner on here with 2 outs. Last season for you, once you did get called up and got comfortable, it seemed in the month of September you really settled in nicely. How much confidence did that offensive September give you going into this season?
Yeah, like I said, once you get that confidence, once you get comfortable, you feel a lot better, and you start doing what you're supposed to do, and you know that you're gonna do it. So the win I ended last year was very important for me because now I'm here in spring training, so I have that confidence back.
Did you pay attention to the talk swirling around you this offseason?
It was almost impossible, but you try not to.
All right, well, Wilmer, we appreciate the time. Good luck here the rest of the way. Ron, let's send it back to you.
Yeah, this is the time and place of the world where you cannot ignore anything.
No.
It's going to be everywhere and anywhere.
But you know what, though? You don't have to be on Twitter or Facebook. And, you know, when you say...
I mean, I'm not on Facebook or Twitter, but...
You know, and you get smashed. But, you know, when, I did my first telecast yesterday, and I didn't look at Twitter one bit. You know, and it's just... I mean, listen, you know, you can say what you want to say. And that's okay. And I think when you look at what Wilmer is saying, is basically like, it's impossible because you're hearing it, and you don't. When you see it on Twitter, it's a different thing. But when your homeboys and your family's talking about it, there it is. And you want to just say, you know what, guys, I'm good. I'll be in spring training. I'm going to fight just like I fought, my whole life.
And if I'm traded to someone, it's because they really want me.
That's it.
That's the only way you can think as a ball player. Milwaukee with the ground ball to second base. Brignac with the soft toss over to Dietrich as the Mets are out here and down big after 2 innings, 6-0.
Get to
If you got 100 things going on in your mind, how you gonna hit the ball? And that's what I'm telling myself is just to relax and just have fun. I mean, see the ball like I've been doing a long time ago since I was a little kid and hit the ball. And that's what I'm not doing right now. I'm trying to hit the ball 1,000 miles when all I have to do is just make contact and the ball will go 1,000 miles.
A little confident, huh?
That was something. Hey, let me ask you, what was that haircut that you first featured? Was it a fade or?
I have no idea. I knew I had the ocean up there because I had a lot of waves. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of those things, though. I look back at that and go, wow.
It looked like you're hurt there.
Yeah, I blew out a hammy there.
You did?
Yeah, I blew out a hammy.
Oh.
Right, that was the main thing in my career. Man. I couldn't stay on the field to save my life.
Jeff Baker swinging at that first pitch.
But you see at the bottom down there, you look at everything, and it said first base hopeful.
That's right.
Hey, I hope you get a chance to be at first base this year, but, we'll see.
We'll see. There's Josh Edgen, left-hander up in the bullpen. The Mets relievers lead the world in beards this year. Good slider there by Chase Bradford, who split his time up between Binghamton and Las Vegas. Well, we've seen he's got the slider. That's his number one pitch. Can he locate his fastball? Has not been able to do that yet.
Well, the thing with me is when you have guys on base, as he had last inning, you might want to stick with your best pitch. And if your best pitch is a slider, then you might want to stick with it because we saw 4 pitches out of the zone to a zoner that went in close.
It's interesting, these relief pitchers, when they get to a certain point, they're almost backwards. If they're a guy who doesn't spot his fastball, they'll use that slider over and over again. There's another one. It's ground ball to right with the backhand. Nifty pickup and an easy throw to first base.
This is that tough in-between hop right here, Ronnie, that you get, and you go, oh. You make it, and then it's a nice, easy throw after that. But first, you got to make that play. You see, that throw is easy. That's the one right there where you're going, should I go get it, should I not? And good play by David Wright up there, third.
For you kids at home, the reason he's so good at the barehanded play, and that play right there, is his eyes. He watches the ball into his glove. Never thinks about the throw until that ball has been secured in his glove. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
A lot of players don't do that even at this level.
And I was with him for a few years when I was here with the Mets, and he works hard at it. Even with Tim Tuffle today, they still work at it just with those type of plays to make sure when he's in the game, he's game ready and ready to go.
Don Kelly with the swing and miss. David's always had those flip-down glasses. There's tough, my man. David's always had those flip-down sunglasses, which makes him old school. But if they're white, I don't know if you can be old school with the flip-down glasses.
I got to tell him that after the game. I'm like, listen, man, look, old school, I love it, but they're white. Come on, do you have gray for the road?
Then he's officially not old school. Well, Bradford is not giving in. The one theme I've seen in spring training here is that these pitchers, because baseball's become a 12-month job, are almost in mid-season form, at least April-May form, on the way they're going to their breaking ball. Another one by Bradford.
Probably like 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And you want to see him throw his fastball because you wondered, can you get a feel when you need it? Because that pitch might not be running for you all game. And that's something that he has to think about. I know I can't throw my fastballs I like, but I have to establish at some point.
Well, if I'm the manager or pitching coach, I want to see a fastball. There's one there inside, though, off the plate. Don Kelly, who is one of those players that if you put him in a computer, it would spit out not a major league player. But if you play him, he does something every day, it seems, to help your ball club win. Gets the count to full. Works a walk. Terry Collins, interesting. He's starting to walk around a little bit. Walks. They just upset a manager. You won't know how much. The pitching coach, of course, you feel like a heel when your pitchers are out there and they're walking guys. But for managers, nothing makes them angry. Nothing than walking hitters. Good fastball there for Bradford on the knees for a strike.
And to me, I look at it as, I know it's tough to be, throw strikes, and I know it's tough, every once in a while, but you're at the big league level. You should be able to put, make these guys put the ball in play, and I think they're very happy when the ball's put in play, or, listen, let them hit it.
Fastball down, induces Cole Gillespie to swing at that slider off the plate.
To me, Ronnie,
go ahead, Cole.
To me, when you have a defense as the Mets have, especially with the center fielders you have in Gold Glove and Juan Lagares, let these guys go make a play for you. Let them be on their toes throughout the game. I always felt like, make me go run and catch a ball for you. I'll do it.
Kelly's on the run as Milwaukee up with the throw. It's up high. No play for Murphy. Again, Kelly with the walk and now the stolen base. Gillespie with the swing, called for the swing and the strike, and the throw by Plawecki is not good.
That's one of those stolen bases on Don Kelly part is he's focused, he's struggling a little bit on the mound, talking about Bradford. He's going to throw a slider. Yep. You take chances like that as base runners.
Especially if you're a veteran smart player like Kelly, who gets a big lead off second base. Brignac again jumping all over that first pitch. Dumps a base hit into center field. Don Kelly with that opportunistic stolen base scores the 7th run for the Miami Marlins.
But again, back to your point earlier, walks, and walks. See this, and when you go to the well too many times, guys sit on pitches. You see a nice little slider over the plate. Yeah, it's a strike, but you know what, guys, it's one position. I'm going to sit on this pitch, and if you throw it, I'm going to be all over it.
I'm not the head of the analytics, but I would say that Reed Brignac is the first pitch fastball hitting player. As Terry Collins is going to come out and take Chase Bradford out of the ball game. Here comes Josh Edgen with his run to the mound. 7 runs on the board already early for the Miami Marlins. Number 66, Josh Edgen in the game. He's probably the only left-hander that is assured of a spot in the bullpen. The former catcher, now left-handed reliever, 6'1", 246. First pitch strike to Valdespin.
Ryan, did you say former catcher?
No, former wrestler. In high school, he was a state champion. So you don't mess around with guys like that.
Right. When you said catcher, I was going to say, okay. Should have thought you said something else other than catch.
Valdespin with the ball down the right field line. It's going to drop in. Granderson over to get it. And Brignac being waved around. Here comes the throw from Murphy. It'll be late. And the 8th run across for the Miami Marlins. As they're making it a rout here early in this spring training game.
You see this here, a curveball. Valdespin stays on it, down in his wheelhouse. Is able to drive this ball down the line and gets on his wheels. Nice piece of hitting. As in the outfield, Granderson has him shaded over a little bit, but that ball is right down the line. Allows him to get all the way over to third base.
The one thing you don't want to see if you're Terry Collins or Dan Worthen is when your left-handed reliever comes in, 2 outs to face a left-hander, that he gives up a triple, is Jeurys Familia getting loose on the bullpen mound. Edging to face another lefty-hander here in Derek Dietrich.
Another thing with what you said, this is a good situation, you know, when you look at lefty on lefties for Edgen, but you don't want to see guys coming in on eggshells. You see so many walks the last couple of days, not guys come in and try to be perfect.
I think what happens for young pitchers, Cliff, is that they feel the only way they can really get noticed is to strike people out instead of just doing what they do. You know, you're good enough, and Terry Collins says this all the time, the reason you're here is because you're good. So if you're good enough, do what you do. But I think once you get to this level and you start facing guys that you've seen on TV, you know their name, you say, oh, I got to take this up a notch. And sometimes it works against you. That slider a little flat from Edgen as it gets the 3-1 count. There's Valdespin on third base. I'd like to say he's going to stay there, but you never know. Fastball inside, jams Dietrich. There's Marcell Ozuna, 23 home runs last year on deck. Ground ball here down the line past Kadire. And it gets all the way to the wall. Granderson gets to it. Dietrich's going to try for the triple. And is it? It is. Back-to-back triples here for the Marlins here in the third inning.
Well, he got jammed the first one, and now he came back. He made sure he got the bat head out on that 3-2 pitch. But again, Rodney, this goes back to our Mets pitchers, pitching from behind the hole. And you see this ball down the line, you see Dietrich get the bat head out. And that ball gets down in the corner, you can run for days.
Something you don't like to see if you're the Mets brass is you see your left-hander who's going to play an important role this year face two left-handed batters, back-to-back triples.
Yeah.
Fastball down to Ozuna. Santo Domingo native. Stockily built Ozuna. He is just fire plug. Ball up the middle. Nice play by Edgen with the stab. The throw to first base for the final out. But 9-0 here for the Miami Marlins against the New York Mets. Well, arms folded. That's what happens when the Marlins go out to a 9-0 lead here at Tradition Field, as the Mets faithful are looking for the Mets to get their offense going. David Phelps with the 9-run cushion will get the third inning. Matt Dendecker leading off for the Mets. Dendecker is a guy that in the past has showed a lot more pop, but also was more prone to the strikeout. He's become more of a guy that puts the ball in play. I think that's better for him. The problem is he has an option. And you know about those options. They're not good in spring training.
No, they're never good, especially when you have some guys that don't have an option.
And when you folks at home, the option is you have 3 options. If you have them left, that means that the team can send you down to AAA. If you don't have an option like Kurt Neuenhuis has, well, if you do not make the team, you're able to move on. Neuenhuis has those glasses. Bullet to right center field over the head of Ozuna. Gets to the wall. We'll see if Dendecker with no outs goes to third base. He does. Marcell Ozuna overthrows the cutoff man, and easy. Triple in spades here for both ball clubs here in the third inning.
This ball is crushed by Dendecker right here. Marcell Ozuna, all he can do is turn his back and get running. This is what you like. You like him staying on his backside. You like him staying through the baseball. Clears his front side, and then he gets the wheels going. He sees his ball all the way. He's looking up. He makes that decision when he gets right here, like, I'm going 3. Let's go. Turn the wheels on and get to third base. You got to score some runs.
He's a pretty big kid who can run, can't he?
Yeah.
Here you got a little situational hitting for Cicchini. It's interesting in spring training. I mean, in a regular season game, you're just trying to load up some hits to somehow get back in this game, which you probably wouldn't anyways. But in a spring training game, you're trying to take your best at-bats and put some hits out there.
Well, yeah, and, you know, when you're down 9-zip, I mean, you play the game like it's 0-0, especially down here. It doesn't count. A lot matters.
Yeah.
You know, when especially a bat like this, guys on third base, you always talk about situational hitters. This is a big at-bat for him. You know, coming in, pinching late. Well, you probably wouldn't necessarily do it.
Yeah. Quick work made of Cicchini by Phelps. Fastball up in the strike zone.
We talked about this fastball early in the day, Ronnie. That fastball up always is that pitch was so deceptive that you, as a hitter, you see it, you like it, but it's just a little bit too high to swing at and make good contact.
Curtis Granderson with that line out to be 0 for 1 here in today's ball game. Whenever I watch Curtis hit, it's all about simplify. He has tremendous power for a guy. If you met him, he's not a big man.
No, not at all.
You're a big man, Cliff. There's a reason why you had power. He's not.
No.
Off the end of the bat down the left field line. Made the play by the left fielder. The throw in. The 2-hopper, but then Decker has too much speed, and the Mets are on the board.
It's good situational hitting by Curtis Granderson. Put the ball in play, get it to the outfield, get that run in. You got infield back, so he could have took a ground ball, but you know what? He opted to hit in the air and just far enough to get him in.
I know you have a new hitting coach in Kevin Long, but in spring training now, this is the second time that we've seen Curtis go to left field to drive in a run. There might have been 2 or 3 times that you saw all last season him do that. So maybe a new thing for Curtis. Breaking ball for a strike.
Well, when you have change, and this is a familiar face for Curtis because he was there in New York with him with the Yankees, but he understands what he got him back to the basics, and you see him talking to him on the bench right now. It's just easy money is what we used to call it. Easy money, Brian.
Easy money meaning that they're just giving you the RBI.
They're giving it to you.
Yeah.
And my throw ball over here is up. I'm up 9-0. I cannot walk you, so I don't want this big inning. I'm just going to put this ball over plate. What you do is you do. If you pop it up, then you know it's on you.
Yeah. Hit to right field. This ball will drop in between the outfielders. Ozuna makes the play. Tosses it in, and Tejada with a base hit. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins, so Mike Redmond confident that Phelps can get this last out here in the third. When you see a guy that has the repertoire of a David Phelps, you always think that David Wright is going to do some serious damage.
Yeah, you do.
I guess I should explain that. He doesn't throw overly hard. He's a breaking ball pitcher. He uses usually half of the plate, meaning the middle of the plate away. David's got tremendous power to right field. All those things work in his favor.
He's not overpowering. That's the one thing when you look at why hitters, you see his fastball by David Phelps, 84, 85 miles an hour, but his placement is always on point. The key to him being successful is being able to hit that glove wherever, is set.
Ball outside to get David the 2-1.
And sometimes from a hitter standpoint, you don't like guys like David Phelps because they nibble. They're around the plate, but he cannot live in the middle of the plate. He'll get smashed if he lives middle at 84, 85.
Good swing there by David. When I pitched, if I faced the hitter and he fouled the ball straight back, to me that's an got away with one there. And Phelps got away with one there. Let's go Mets chant has started early here. It'd have to be early and often for this deficit. Good take by David to get that count full. Runner at first, Tejada will be running. He is. He'll have to do it again.
You always like that as a hitter too. When you have a full count, you want guys just to foul off balls. I was one of those guys, Ronnie. I would put that ball in play. I would be just a little roll over to second base. But you have guys like David Wright, good hitters who can foul it off and get another pitch. They can do some damage with it.
Ground ball there to the shortstop. Jump throw to first base. Is it in time? Yes, it is.
Wow.
What a play by the shortstop Brignac as he ends here the second inning. But the Mets score a run, and after 3 innings, it's 9-1. The new pitcher for the Mets is Jay Urias-Familia. Just an outstanding rookie season for the youngster, number 27. And let's send it down to Steve Gelbs down on the bench.
Thanks, Ron. Here with today's starting pitcher, Zack Wheeler. First grapefruit start of the spring season. What'd you make of it, Zach?
First inning was good. I struggled with my fastball command a little bit out of the stretch, but everything else was there, command-wise, my off-speed pitches. So I'm happy, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating.
It seemed like you were really trying to work the inner half of the plate. Is that something you were focused on this start?
Yeah, just working command-wise. Like I said, my four seam was getting away from me a little bit, but that's what happened time to time. It's still early, so.
Last season happened often kind of in that second half too, where it seemed like you would get off a little bit during one of the innings and then you'd make that adjustment. You'd be able to recognize it and make that adjustment going forward. Is that something you feel a lot more comfortable with heading into this season than heading into last year?
Yeah, for sure. It's just that's what you got to do when you're up here in the big leagues, is make that adjustment pretty fast. You can't stay out there and just keep struggling because they're going to put up a lot of runs on you and you're going to lose a game. So you got to make that mid-game adjustment and go from there.
It was against this same Marlins team last year that you maybe had your best start of your young career, complete game shutout in June, 1-0 win, I think, down in Miami. Was that the turning point of the season for you?
I guess you could say so. That probably gave me a lot more confidence, but at the same time, I was making adjustments myself in between starts, and making adjustments to the hitters, and they're making adjustments to me. And so once I did that, I started doing a little bit better.
Do you feel last year was a big growth year for you overall in areas like that specifically?
Yeah, for sure. Growing up in the minor leagues, you really don't have that much knowledge of the hitters that you're facing, but once you get up here, you have video. Dan's always telling you stuff before the game or in between innings. So, you always have that knowledge. And then these guys are smart. They've been playing the game forever, so they're going to make adjustments to you also.
185 innings, a little bit above that, I think, was your total last season. That was way more than any total you've pitched so far. Terry Collins, I remember talking a lot last year about just pitching in September. That's an experience in itself, trying to get and understand what it's like to pitch that deep into a season. How useful was that for you and beneficial going into this year?
Honestly, everybody was tired. I was tired, and that's when you really learn how to pitch, is when your body's not all the way there, and you really got to trust your stuff. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just trusting your stuff when it's that late into the season and all your stuff isn't as sharp.
It's funny. Last year, I remember we joked about it in spring training that you were kind of flying under the radar because of Noah Syndergaard. I think you thanked him last year. This year, with the return of Harvey and DeGrom coming back as Rookie of the Year, kind of the same deal. Do you like that scenario, flying under the radar? Is that comfortable for you?
I could really care less, but yeah, that's fine. I don't have to have the attention, so I'm just out here to pitch and do my job.
All that being said, you did, I believe it was John Harper in the Daily News last week, where you were mentioning what Bryce Harper said, the comments that you guys heard that, and you're going to try and do your best to keep that ring from the Nationals. That type of swagger is something that we've seen a lot this spring from the team as a whole. How important do you think it is for the team to have a swagger, a confidence like that in order to become a winning team?
Yeah, if you say that kind of stuff, you got to go out there and back it up. It gives you a little bit more motivation, I would say, and you don't want to go out there and say all that stuff and do poorly. So it pushes yourself a little bit, and obviously we got a lot of talent here, a lot of young talent. If we can go out there and put it in and day out, I think we'll have a good chance of being a good team this year.
How much would it mean to you to get the opening day start?
It would mean a great deal. Definitely an honor, and something that I really wanted last year, but this year I'm here working on more important stuff, I guess you could say. I grew up a little bit, so I'm here to work on my command.
All right, mature Zack Wheeler. There you go. Appreciate it, Zack.
Thank you.
Ron.
It's great, Steve. You were absolutely right. That 1-0 game did happen in Miami on June 19th. The youngest person to throw a 1-0 game in his rookie season, not his rookie season, but the youngest, as the familiar strikes out, Jeff Baker, at 24 years and 20 days, since Doc Gooden did it twice in 1985 when he was 20 years old.
I think you're going to see a lot more of those as well. Yeah. We talk about him and his makeup, and he's still young. He's still trying to figure out a few things, but, very soft-spoken, and, he's just dedicated, from what we've seen, is trying to be the best and wants to be the best. I love that.
Don Kelly up for the Miami Marlins. Here's some numbers from Wheeler from last season. See 13, 14, the big jump for him in innings and decisions and starts and strikeouts especially. I think for fans what makes it difficult is that, you know, you have Harvey, who's Harvey. So you know exactly what you're getting. But all young pitchers kind of mature at a different level. And some, it takes a little longer than others. They all end up at around the same place. Maybe the Harveys or the Kershaws or guys like that are above that. But most young pitchers evolve the same way in the sense that it takes them some time to figure out who they are.
Right. And you know what? I mean, and it goes for position players as well. But for pitchers, it's a little harder. And I think when you look at these guys, having a Matt Harvey back, I think, should help them tremendously. I really do. And it's going to help Jacob, as we see right there, and help the other guys down in rotation because you have that ace, and you sort of take a little bit of pressure off.
That pitch inside. Good pitch by Familia. Is a pitch not being called by home plate umpire today. But a pitch you have to continue to throw. Left-handers, if you can't pitch them in, you can't get them out.
You know, we talked about with Zack before the game, and you have some great points about him and, you know, how great he did in the second half. I think, you know, look at his record, and let's throw away the record for a minute. The 11-11, let's throw the 500 record away and just look at how well he pitched in the second half of the season. That's what you want to see, you know, in April this year.
There's that good slider by Familia as he retires Kelly. Fourth inning, 9-1 for the Marlins.
Hey, Brandon.
Well, some changes here for the Marlins in the bottom of the fourth, sorry. JT Realmuto is behind the plate. You see Don Kelly's moved from third base to first base, going to third base. And the pitcher is Aaron Crow from the Kansas City Royals organization. Scott Sizemore moved to third. And Kenny Wilson's in the center field for the Marlins. Aaron Crow's a guy that was the #1 pick of the Nationals, didn't sign with them, finally taken by the Kansas City Royals, did a nice job in their bullpen, left off the playoff roster last year, but he's a guy that the Marlins hope finds his niche because he's a guy that has an outstanding breaking ball.
Yeah, I love his stuff. I think when you look at what the Marlins did this offseason, one of their biggest holes was the bullpen. Yeah. And, you can fix it with guys who have a little experience, and Crow does have that. With like you mentioned, the good stuff.
Oh. Realmuto, not the greatest of throws, back into center field with that throw back to Crow. And Dietrich retrieves the ball. I mean, I've seen this happen on the high school level, but usually not this level. Michael Kadire follows that off. Crow's a guy that likes to use his breaking ball. That's how he gets you out. He'll pitch around the strike zone with his fastball, but it's the breaking ball, and he's got a devastating one at times that he wants to put you out with. That's it right there. As Kadire sees it for the first time and goes out for the first inning here in the bottom of the fourth. 12-6.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially for, when you talk about out pitches, hitters are not looking for the 12-6. It's one of those things that was sort of forgotten, and we hadn't seen that big 12-6. We talked about it yesterday with Rick Porcello, and now we have it again today.
Tonight at 6, a unique look at the day's sports news as Steve Covino and Rich Davis break it all down from a fan's perspective on the Covino and Rich Show tonight at 6 p.m. only on SNY. Boy, Murph was lucky in that at bat where he just suffered the contusion. The X-rays were negative. You just hate to see hitters get hit in the hands as he lines this ball, but on the ground to the shortstop Brignac. Easy play at first base. I say that because hitters, when they get hit in the hands, there's all those tiny little muscles, as you know, Cliff. All it takes is one of them to go to put you out 6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, as a hitter, that's your bread and butter. I mean, if you don't have your hands, you have nothing. And you need the bat speed. But, we've seen 2 good, solid swings from him today. So that's a positive, if anything. I could take the 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Yeah. Let's keep him healthy and on the field.
John Mayberry Jr. had a base hit in his first at-bat, having a good spring so far for the Mets. John's an interesting hitter, Cliff, when I look at him. He has such great size, a great collegiate player at Stanford. And a lot of times when you have this kind of size, what do they tell you? You got to be a power hitter if you have this kind of size.
Well, there it is.
Well, you got the speed of Kenny Wilson, who just came in. You can make that play. Crow gives up the line drive, but Wilson makes the play. After 4, Mets are down by 8, 9-1. We see Kevin Plawecki, but there's a lot of changes here for the Mets starting out. Brandon Allen comes in to play first base. Michael Dyer sits down. Tejada moves from short to second base so that Matt Reynolds, the hero so far in some spring training games at short. Eric Campbell in third base. David Wright has the afternoon off. Cesar Puello comes in for Curtis Granderson in right field. And Henry Mejia is on the mound. Familia with a good inning prior. And Mejia, 63 games last year, started the season as a starter, took to the reliever stopper with great aplomb. 28 out of 31 saves will make it anytime. Cole Gillespie, who's in his first 2 times up, walked and scored a run and struck out in his second at bat. Ball drilled by Cole Gillespie. Does Dendecker have enough to get to it? He doesn't. Even though with the dive he's able to knock it down, stop it from being a triple. Gillespie with a stand-up double to start this inning.
Well, I think he had the speed. I think he rounded the baseball a little bit too much, and then when he looked up again, he saw the baseball was too far and tried to make up with it with the dive. But you know, I think we're taught as outfielders, especially in center field, to go direct, to sort of, you know, go direct to the baseball. That in that situation, Dendecker went around the ball.
Do you think it had anything to do with the wind's been carrying most of the baseball, so he thought that one might carry to right center, and it knocked down a little?
I would say, you know, what we are taught is basically put your head down, run to the spot that you think the ball is going to be at, and if it's not there, then guess what? Now you got to make up for it. Well, he didn't have enough time there.
Let's see if there's a first pitch fastball to Brignac, who's 2 for 2 on that way. A ball is a good pitch to him on the third time up. Ground ball to the right side. Nice job. Bobbled by Brandon Allen. He can't make the play. And E3 for the Mets. Almost like he took his eye off it for a second, Cliff.
Yeah, well, you know, he took 2 steps back, and that in between hop would always beat you. We saw David Wright early in the game make a great decision on coming in for that ball, but that one, Brandon Allen let the ball play him a little bit and ate him up.
Well, when you first come in, that ball will always find you.
It is a finder like no other, Ronnie.
Jordani Valdespin's having a great day against his former mates. 2 for 3 with a single and triple. And got ducks on the pond again here with no outs for Mejia in the 5th. You know, it's interesting. The guy that I wanted to see, of course, here was Giancarlo Stanton after that 13-year, $325 million contract. Do you think you could handle that? Could you get by with that kind of change?
I could get by with that, you know, little pocket change, you know.
There's a ground ball by Valdespin to Reynolds. Reynolds over to Tejada, but it's going to be too late to get Valdespin as he drives in a run, and the Mets getting out at second base.
See us get in on Valdespin a little bit. All you can get here is basically one. You got to make sure you get one. Little courtesy talks about Tejada over the first, just in case Valdespin failed or something in turn 2, but RBI.
You know what I find the interesting part of that contract? When you hear the numbers, you go crazy. Like, boy, I mean, how can you pay a guy that much money? But, you know, the way he did it, Giancarlo Stanton, it gives the team some financial flexibility because it is back-loaded. So being front-loaded, Yelich, Ozuna, Fernandez, Echeverria, they can maybe make some money so they can keep the team intact. You know, his first part of his contract, the 6 years, he can opt out after 6 years, is worth almost $18 million. $31 million over the last 7 years. So if he's not very good the first 6 years, he's definitely going to take the rest of the contract. But if he is pretty good, he could opt out at some point if they're not as good as he thinks they are.
Yeah, I definitely love it. I mean, I think when you look at how they were able to go out and get some of the guys they got, D. Gordon. You know, I know they're not paying Dan Herron's contract, which is $10 million, but you still have flexibility. You still, like you say, you still have, you know, money to go get guys, and that's what you want. And you know what, Stanton wanted that deal, but if you heard him say, listen, I'm signing this deal, but I want to win.
Ground ball here, hits the hole. Out to Puello at second base. Valdespin goes base to base. You got first and second here with one out against Mejia. Being hit pretty hard here in the top of the fifth. You know, show us that picture again, if you don't mind, folks, of Giancarlo's mask that he's going to be wearing. You know, Mike Fiers of the Milwaukee Brewers hit him right in the face. He needed much dental work, and he's going to use this mask that has a G on it, which is pretty cool. Jason Hayward, when he got hit by Jonathan Neese, he looked like it was a Lego shop that put it together. This one looks like a big league one.
Yeah, it is. That is actually, I love the G. But you also love the fact that he gets a chance to wear it in spring training and see if he likes it. Because if he doesn't like it, let me tell you, Ronnie, he will not be wearing that thing come opening day.
Almost looks like a quarterback's face guard more, as opposed to a you know, that real padding that Hayward had. That's Valdespin on second, Dietrich on first base. Well, most home runs through age 24 season. Giancarlo Stanton with 154.
I would say that's pretty good. Yeah, and you look at that and you go, well, has he gotten better? He's gotten a lot better. He's gotten better each year. I think the biggest thing that we want to see from Giancarlo Stanton was him on the field more consistently. Like him being in spring training, want to see him today. I think you want to see him on the field during the season, 150-plus games. That gives them a chance, in my opinion, to win 85, 90 games.
You saw that it was the post-expansion era after 1961. Ground ball up the middle. This will be an easy play for Tada. Steps on the bag, over to first base. Double play for Mejia, and is able to get out of this inning with just giving up a run here in the top of the fifth. 10-1 Marlins. Aaron Crow takes on the bottom of the fifth inning here. He's a guy they look to do this kind of thing during the regular season, too. I call it a crossover pitcher, Cliff. It's a guy that can get you a couple innings when you need it in the 6th and 7th.
And I think with that, Ronnie, what you're doing is you don't have Jose Fernandez, your ace, until maybe June, July. Yeah. So you bring David Phelps in. He gives you the other option in the rotation, and he can be that guy that David Phelps was last year for the Yankees.
That fastball up 0-2 is all to set up usually. Cliff, you know this better than I know it, but it usually sets up Milwaukee with the 0-2 fastball up. And you come back with the hammer, 1-2. Let's see if it happens for Crow. No, came back in with the fastball, but Milwaukee was ready for it.
Watch your lips down.
That was tiki bar bound.
Tiki bar down, and you're sitting there having a hot dog and chilling and get a
bullet out you.
A happy fan right there. Got a little baseball. Like, yeah, all worth it.
Let's Milwaukee some kind of story. I know he's down 1-2 here, but he's got some power. Good pitch by Crow. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Citi, proud sponsor of the New York Mets. By Ram. Come in and get a great deal during Ram Truck Month going on now. By Cayman Islands, a world away, just 4 hours from JFK. And by W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the New York Mets. Who but W.B. Mason? Good sinking fastball there by Crow, but off the plate. Cayman Islands, good place to snorkel and dive at, Cliff.
Yeah, I haven't been there. Man, I got to start getting out a little more.
Well, you had a little problem in the summer. You're kind of busy.
Yeah. It was see Matt Dendecker with the glasses on, Ronnie. I was never a guy that liked wearing glasses when I hit. It's all, you know, and some guys, they hate the glare, and it helps a lot of guys out. I tried and never could do it. But if you can do it, I always felt like this. The head instructor said, if you can do it, by all means necessary, go up there and please do.
And they also say guys with the lighter colored eyes have more trouble than guys with darker colored eyes in day games. I don't know if that's true, but we've heard that a couple of times.
Yeah, well, you
Josh
know what?
Hamilton said that.
I would like to see my day number because I got dark eyes, and I think I hit about $150 during the day. It probably had something to do with my nights. That was pretty good.
Yeah, good walk by Dendecker there. I know what you're saying, though. You know, especially those. You know, they have the ability with those sunglasses now to put it in such a way that it's almost like you can see the ball better. But I know I'd rather trust my eyes.
I'd rather trust them.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think a lot of times guys have. You know, they go and give them, you know, what their thoughts are on them, and they can make the changes. It was more the nose guard that sort of got in the way of seeing the baseball.
Good hit there by Giacchini by third baseman. Sizemore going around the track is Dendecker. He's being waved ahead by Tuffle. Here's the throw from shortstop. Not in time. Dendecker scores a run, but the runner is caught in a pickle here at second base. Good job by the catcher to get the ball to the second baseman, who tags him out. Couldn't have been executed better than Rio Muto, who ran out at the runner, made him stop, and then finds the pickle. Good hitting, though, first by Giacchini. Hits the ball past Sizemore. And see Gillespie getting the ball. Kind of stops there, but hit the cutoff man. That's what they tell you. Good things can happen. He gets it to the catcher. Watch what he does. Right, Cliff?
Yeah.
Right at the runner.
Great decision making, but bad by Giacchini because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. And you see him out the box. You know you got a double for sure. You know you're down still by 9 runs or so. Right here, stop it. There's nothing more you can do.
He did stop and then and tried to proceed. I think that's just a young kid's mistake. So excited to get a hit.
take a look at this again. We see Cheney coming around, and this is where you stop. Plays right in front of you. There's nothing you can do. You cannot anticipate this catcher missing this ball. The throw's right there in front of you. You see it's not going to be a tag. It's not going to be a play at the plate.
That's right.
So you make the easy decision to go back to second base.
You see being told there what his mistake was. And it's exactly what you said. A lot of times young runners will go, okay, there's going to be a play at the plate. There's a play at the plate. The catcher's going to try to tag him. As he's tagging him, I'm going to take the extra base.
Right.
But what Real Muto did is that he knew there was not going to be a play. He came up on the baseball, and that caused a mistake for the Mets. I hear one of the coaches for the Mets there said it's a good take. I'm telling you, Puello just said, what else am I supposed to do with that?
I can't hit it.
Two good takes there to get a 2-2 by Puello. Really was numbers for Kansas City for Crow. They had so much talent in that bullpen that he could never really find a role for him. There's the breaking ball for a strike again. He looks like he's going to be a big pitcher for the Marlins coming up. 10-2 Marlins as the Mets push across a run. Today at 5, get all the latest from Port St. Lucie with exclusive interviews straight from camp. Plus insider info and debate as the Mets continue their Grapefruit League schedule on Daily News Live presented by Citi. Today at 5 p.m. only on SNY. Well, new battery mate for the Mets, Johnny Monell behind the plate, and Scott Rice, the left-hander for the Mets. It'll be interesting for Rice. He's a guy that set a rookie record a couple of seasons ago with appearances. Had a sports hernia surgery, had other surgeries that curtailed his year last year. And he seems to be throwing as well as he was a couple of seasons ago. He's trying for that number 2 spot or maybe number 1 spot after the struggle of edging today, but definitely trying to be one of the left-handers in that bullpen.
Right, I know you know just as much as I that you can never have enough lefty specialists in the bullpen.
No, okay.
You know?
I find that interesting, because I think Keith feels like that too, that having at least two left-handers in the bullpen is mandatory. We've seen the Mets many years go north with only one.
Yeah, I just like that you have two, you have options. And then one of the options is you have a Rice guy that can come in and get lefties and righties out. And Edgens is that guy. He didn't get the lefties out today. So, I don't know how Terry's going to be. I'm assuming Edgens is going to, correct his issues that he had today and be able to be that lefty specialist and have Rice for the guy who can come in and give you a couple innings if need be.
Ground ball to shortstop. Nice play. 6-3 for the first out. Here's the next game on SNY Thursday. Mets versus Nationals on Thursday at 1 o'clock.
How good are they going to be this year, Nationals, with Max Scherzer at the top of that rotation?
How'd you like to face that rotation for a 4-game series?
Unbelievable. You always feel like when you come into a series, like, listen, okay, I'm going to get the ace. Yes, I know I'm going to get the second. Oh, well, you know what? If you miss the ace, you get 2-3 guys. You're hoping the fourth guy give you a chance, to maybe come through. Hey!
Line smash up the middle. Sometimes you catch the ball. Sometimes the ball catches you. And this is what happened to Scott Rice.
Right place, right time with the glove, right?
Look what I found is what they'll tell him.
Heartbeat low. I guess pumping a little bit faster.
See, the catcher Johnny Monell went out there to make sure he was all right.
So you good? He goes, well, I don't know.
I don't know what happened, but how many outs are there? 2. Okay, good. They always call the third base the hot corner, but by the time you let that ball go, you're about 55 feet away from the hitter. It can be scary sometimes.
You always think about finishing in a position to be a good fielder. And I'm not saying he was in a great position, but he was in a good spot to put that glove where you could get it out.
Doesn't make any sense for any pitcher to not be in a good fielding position. That's something you should work on at some point, because nothing irks a hitter more than hit a bullet up the middle and the pitcher makes a play. You are just running down first base, saying things that shouldn't be said to another human being as you take your over.
And I know the pitcher knows you staring at him. He will not look at you.
Scott Rice throwing that patented sinker down in the strike zone. Scott's only problem always has been is that can he throw strikes? Deshaun Gilmartin up for the Mets. Another lefty. So this is the lefty tryout camp today. Edgen to Rice to Gilmartin. Short. Ball off the end of the bats here, center field. Den Decker with the great running catch coming in from center field. That great speed making the play as Scott Rice again gets through the inning. 1-2-3. the veteran Nick Massett from the Cincinnati Reds organization. That's where he had his best years, in here to pitch for the Miami Marlins. Let's go down to Steve Gelbs.
Thanks, Ron. Standing by with the captain of the Mets, David Wright, the only captain remaining in the major leagues. Did you just find that out? Is that surprising to you?
I haven't thought about it too much, but it was brought to my attention, obviously, with Derek and Paul Konerko retiring. I've said it once, I said it a million times. A tremendous honor, something I take very seriously and have a lot of pride in.
You talked about how you're feeling 100% healthy this spring, and yesterday it showed you had a couple of drives to the opposite field, which is kind of your signature. Looking back, how different does the swing feel? What's the most different aspect last season to this season right now?
I think the biggest thing for me is, trying to go up there and get back to what my strengths are. And that's, as you mentioned, going the other way, being able to go gap to gap, hitting those doubles, feeling, good and quick on defense. So, I feel that right now. I know it's early in spring, and, I've had, some good results. I've had some bad results, but, the biggest thing is trying to get ready for early April, because that's obviously when it counts, and you start doing that right here.
David, how different was this offseason for you? You have the rehab, obviously, and then you were down here early, as were a lot of the Mets, earlier than normal. How different of an offseason was it?
Well, it was different just in the fact of, being able to train down here, work out with a lot of my teammates. And that's one of the best things that came out of that whole workout program is, it's not just me going in to the gym and competing against myself every day. It's me going in and trying to, be as strong as Lucas Duda, trying to be as quick as Juan Lagares. And that was something that challenged me each and every day. Some days you just don't feel like, bringing it, but you see your teammates, you see the work that they're putting in, and it continues to push you. So I had a lot of fun with it. I think I got, benefited from it, and, looking forward to seeing the results from it.
I don't know if you can believe it, but you're entering your 12th year Major League Baseball. How has the offseason changed for you? How have spring trainings changed for you over the years?
Well, you still try to go in with the mindset of trying to prove yourself, trying to, first and foremost, play like you deserve to make the team. And obviously there's, positions. Some guys are in different positions than others, but, you try to go in there, you try to work hard. I think the biggest thing is trying to set an example of, how, to work, getting your work done. This isn't a, country club. It's going out there, getting work done, setting the tone early in spring training, and having a lot of the young guys, follow that. But, the biggest thing for me is working on things that I need to work on to get ready for opening day. And it's seeing pitches, trying to recognize off-speed pitches a little better, trying to get my timing right, and, working from there.
Talk about setting the tone, and this offseason, this spring training so far, there's a certain swagger to the group. You were here in 2006. You've been a part of winning teams. How important is it for the team to talk about what they want to do to accomplish it?
Yeah, I think, Cliff can talk about this also, because he was a big part of that 2006 team. But, it's about, plenty of us have talked about how good we think we are. Now it's a matter of going out there and backing it up, because the only way to become good at winning is to practice it. You go out there early in April and you start beating up some teams. That's how you get good at winning.
You talk about Cliff being able to talk about it. He takes credit for all your success.
He's got a great face for radio. I didn't think he'd make it on TV, but he's doing a pretty good job up there.
David, we appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Back after this.
The lefty, Josh Edgin, got his chance. Scott Rice had a clean inning, and now the lefty, Sean Gilmartin, who pitched a couple days ago against Atlanta, give up a hit and a strikeout in his inning of work, gets another chance today. Pop up straight in the infield. Who's going to call it? It looks like the left fielder, John Mayberry, the senior veteran of that youngsters, Reynolds and Campbell, is the one that takes it almost in the infield.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you're playing a guy like that, a little shallow as an outfielder, you come in, you busting it, and you start chirping. I got it. Those infielders want you to take it. So that's what you must know as an outfielder, is that those infielders are waiting for you to say, I got it, so they can get out of the way.
Always easier to come in than it is to go out, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And Gillespie's had a nice day. Got himself a walk and a run in his first at-bat and a double in his last at-bat. Another pop-up, but this one straight back. Sean Gilmartin with the high socks. You don't usually see those, and I think those are not those paint-on socks. They look like the original old school. 1977 maybe. I mean, where do you even get those anymore? Kevin Kierst had to go on the way back machine to get those. Good changeup by Gilmartin. It's funny how different players wear their uniforms different, because it really, I'm telling you, as a player, it only feels good one way, doesn't it, Cliff?
That's it.
It's the strangest thing.
I should get guys, hey, why you wear your pants all the way down?
You had the long ones,
I had the long ones. I could not wear my pants where you saw socks. It wasn't, listen, I like the look, but it felt better. Like I like my uniform to feel a little looser.
Another walk by Mets pitching. Looked like that changeup he wanted to throw 3-2 to Gillespie. Get to Citi Field for the 2015 home opener Monday, April 13th, when the Mets host the Philadelphia Phillies at 1:10 p.m. All fans in attendance will receive a 2015 magnetic schedule courtesy of Hyundai. Get your opening day tickets now at Mets.com/opening day. Brignac, who's had a nice day so far today. A couple of hits in his first two times up. 3 RBIs and 2 runs. Text messages will be full.
Yeah. He's always had the talent. It was just, bringing it out of him, getting it to be. I was with him back in 08 in our quest to be champions with the Tampa Bay Rays. And he just, he was one of those guys that just could not figure it out. And to go out there and lay it on the line, for 100+ days. So, you still, but like I said, you still get a chance. And I think that's the big thing. You still get a chance to play the game you love and get an opportunity.
Brignac's mad at himself, as most hitters are when they feel like they missed the pitch.
Yeah, that's it. That's that one you get that good wood on, especially from a lefty, and you go, you almost feel like you want to just flip the bat around because you're not going to get that pitch again and hit with the hat.
That's right.
And he did.
He did. Fastball tried to come in on Brignac. Nice hitting on that ball to left field. Mayberry Jr. gets to it quick and gets it into Eric Campbell at third base.
If you miss the first time, try again, I guess. And you come back with the same pitch and you get the bat head out.
Well, this might be the first time I've ever seen this before. 2 pinch runners coming in. Austin Waits coming in at second base to run for Cole Gillespie. And Reed Brignac is going to be run for also at first base.
Good healthy cut by Tyler Coleman. I remember his days in the Chicago Cubs organization. Moved around a little bit, then ended up in Colorado. Saw the numbers, didn't get a chance to play as much. That offense in Colorado just seems to do. I mean, even without Tulo and Cargo on the field consistently, they still got guys that can put up 5-6 runs a night.
Another good cut there. The runner at first base is Austin Nola. Sorry about that there, Austin. Did you ever think late in your career, let me take it on out there to Colorado for a couple of years? Let me augment that.
Oh, you better believe it. It crossed my mind. I called my agent and said, hey, Colorado, they didn't call.
Good breaking ball there from Gil Martin. The first couple were not good. The third one was, as Tyler Colvin goes down swinging. You're right about Tyler Colvin. He's a guy that promise again. How to get back to that promise.
There it is.
Here's a 6th inning recap from Land Rover. As you can see, Zack Wheeler chased in the 2nd inning after giving up 6 runs. After that, the Mets have been behind all day long. Offensive machine for Miami, but it's been a lot of walks also. That ball off the bat of Adrian Romero, who came in earlier with the wind blowing out. That's a home run to left field as the Marlins are piling on here against the Mets here at Tradition Field.
That ball was absolutely crushed. I mean, he put a good swing on that baseball. You knew it right off the bat. He was running like he didn't know, but I think he had a good idea when he hit it that ball was going to chop out of his park today. See him stay on that backside, drives through. That's a little uppercut he has right there on that follow through. And as you mentioned early in the game, Ronnie, the ball was flying out of here in BP.
Yeah, I knew there was going to be a lot of runs scored today. I didn't know they're going to all be by the Marlins, but 13-2 here now in the top of the 7th. That's Kenny Wilson, who made a nice running play in center field earlier in this game. He came in for Marcell Ozuna defensively earlier. This is your chance, right? You're brought along. You're riding on that bus. You're at the front of the bus because the veteran's on the back of the bus. So you're on the front of the bus. You're probably in charge of the chicken and refreshments after the game, but still trying to make your mark as he hits one just fouled on the left field line.
So many things happen throughout spring training, throughout the season, and it might not be opening day that you're on that roster, but you might fit in at some point to be able to help your club. You saw that great run and play. Those are things that are, if you watch a manager, if you watch the coaches, they mark those things down, and they make sure they know that, hey, listen, we might not have Marcell Ozuna at some point, but we need defense. So we're scoring runs, and you can come in and give us that spark that we need. Might not be from the hit, might not be in the box, but it could be in the field.
Gil Martin not happy with the 3 runs he given up that inning, so he let Mr. Wilson know. Yeah. You're so right. There could be a manager who says, hey, who was that kid in spring training who made that great catch in center field? He had a lot of speed. Well, where is he in Double-A? We need some defense right now. Let's bring him up. Never know. A nice play by Campbell on the line drive off the bat of Wilson. That's the end of the inning, and 13 runs now piled up by the Marlins, only 2 by the Mets. Well, there's only one place to go for all your Mets spring training information. With instant updates from Port St. Lucie featuring interviews, video diaries, and informative links. Get an up-close perspective from fans blogging about the team they love on Mets blog presented by Citi, featured on SNY.TV. Well, here's the changes that you have for the Marlins. Got Austin Nola playing left field. You got Austin Waits in left field. Austin Nola at third base. And a new pitcher, Mike Dunn. Mets fans know him, left-hander, hard thrower.
Yeah, he throws really hard. You see these guys out there, these guys coming to the game late, running, they all checking the sun, they all checking all the elements.
Well, you got to act like a big leaguer, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if I was playing right now, I'd be working on my eye black.
Everything.
Doing it all.
I got to still look good.
Wristbands.
You never know who's in the stands.
Well, here's the kid, Matt Reynolds, that we talked about the other day. Had a walk-off home run. You know, the game, the shortstop position seemingly has been given to Wilmer Flores. But Mr. Reynolds wants to say something about it as we see Vic Black warming up in the Mets bullpen. Big year last year. Hit almost 345. 343, I believe. If you put his AA and AAA numbers together. Not a lot of pop yet, but that pop seems to come later for hitters anyways. It's like control for pitchers.
And, you know, and the one thing when you talk about Matt and what he's done, and walk-off home is great, but, you know, nothing's etched in stone at that shortstop position. I mean, Wilmer Flores, yes, he has, you know, the lead right now, but I'm assuming if I'm Matt Reynolds, I'm going about my business every day as normal, because if the opportunity is there and, you know, until they send me down to the minor league side, I'm going after it.
There's a line drive to left field off the bat of Reynolds, and right on cue. Another bullet by the would-be shortstop, Matt Reynolds. Those are his numbers, Cliff.
Tremendous numbers. I mean, you look at the homers. I don't care about the homers. I care about the average. I care about the on-base percentage. And then you give me the slugging, that's fine. But you're going to drive in guys, and if you play a good shortstop, you and I both know, especially for you, Ryan, as a pitcher, you need that guy up the middle to be able to turn to when you make the pitches and so on and so forth.
Well, I think the Mets have an interesting dilemma, because I would say that if you looked at Reynolds and Flores, you wouldn't say they're top of the food chain shortstops defensively. You know, they're a guy that's going to make the play at him, make the play 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, especially that one right at him. But it's their offenses that's going to play. Well, I'm sure that Mayberry has so many at-bats against Mike Dunn. Mayberry, who not only would start for the Phillies, but was the best pinch hitter in baseball last year for the Phils, and then later for Toronto later in the season. And when you pinch hit, you're going to face the left-handed reliever for the team in your division many times.
So this is a good one. This is the ones you look for in spring training, the ones you're going to see during the season. And where's Mike Dunn at, you know, as far as getting ready for the season? But, you know, as you mentioned with John Mayberry, these are bats that you sort of store. The ones against guys that you might not see during the course of the season, no, it's just a bat that you want to work on some things. But this is one this is a game situation for him.
Pulled foul on the line by Mayberry. Mike Dunn was with the Yankees and did some work in Atlanta, but it seemed to have found a home here for the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, they love him down there. They can come in and get lefties and righties out. He throws really hard.
Boy, just missed by Mayberry. That just popped up. Austin Nola with the catch at third base. It's time to check in around the majors, presented by Citi. 9 Braves combined for a 10-inning no-hitter. That's hilarious. The Cliff we have in the booth is fine physically, but the Cliff Lee in Philadelphia is suffering some elbow discomfort. That's not great. And Josh Colemanter also a real good story for him. He's moved back and forth from the bullpen, now named opening day starter for Tony La Russa and his Arizona Diamondbacks.
When you look at that Arizona team, they have a Jeremy Hellickson. They have a couple other guys. But you know what? I guess Josh Coleman, just get out the way. I don't know how much it means to certain guys. You can speak to this more, Ronnie, about opening day. Is it when you have a slew of pitchers there and you just pick one, is it different? You know,
it's kind of being like being the leadoff hitter. Is that you lead off once in a game, maybe sometimes. The difference is that for when you are called into the manager's office and he tells you you're opening day, you might be 6'2" when you walk in there. You're about 6'4.5" when you walk out. You just feel so good about yourself that you know that you are going to start the season for the team. Ground ball up the middle. Nice play. Takes it by himself. But Brignac, what a game he's had anyway. Turns the double play. And the Marlins are out of the inning. 13-2, Marlins over the Mets. Well, Vic Black comes in to pitch for the Mets. You see his record over 41 games last year. He struggled, though, in his first outing 3 days ago against Detroit. Gave up a run in an inning of work and walked a batter. It's going to be a big part of that bullpen. It's really just his control, which is going to be the issue. He was outstanding with runners on base and not allowing them to score, not allowing inherited runners to score. But he always has a lot of base runners, and sometimes that can work against you at some point.
Especially coming in late in the games. You're trying to come in and hold guys. You're trying to come in and hold leads or keep your team at bay when you have a tie score. Those type of things are going to be expected out of Big Black this year. And, you know, when you come to spring training, sometimes, you know, and I'm speaking from a position standpoint, you don't go out there and let it go or be, you know, or sort of be in mid-season form. For reasons because you already have a spot in rotation or in the bullpen.
Scott Sizemore up. Good cut there at the first pitch fastball from Black. And they'd have to say this is about a perfect day if you're here in spring training, not only for the fans but for the players. 82 degrees, but you know, there's no humidity. There's not a ton of wind. and there'll be a few people walking out of here. I always see them, and I have to laugh. I don't know why I do, but they're always a little red, little rock lobster working, which cruelly I laugh. Good fastball there by Black on the inside corner. Breaking ball hit right on the nose, but right at Eric Campbell, who makes the play pretty easily at first base. Now for Vic Black, and he's a young pitcher, he gets ahead of him with 2 fastballs, and he throws that breaking ball, which he hits on the nose to third base. What he should think about tonight when he's sitting there having dinner is saying to himself, I'm ahead of him. Why didn't I bounce that curveball? Let me bounce that thing, because that way he won't put it in play. So even with an out, sometimes you think of things that you could do better. You know what's interesting about pitching, Cliff, is that there's so many stages to it. First, you have to learn how to throw your fastball to both sides of the plate. Okay, once you get that, then let's work on the breaking ball. How can you throw it for a strike? Okay, I got it. I'm ready to go. Oh, no. We got to learn how to throw the breaking ball for a ball. What do you mean throw for a ball? Well, when you're ahead, you got to be able to throw it for a ball so it looks like a strike, but at the last minute, it's in the dirt and they're going to swing over it. Oh, I didn't know that one. Jeez, that's a lot of work.
You know, as a hitter, you give you guys so much credit. It's like, you know what, these guys are so good, but you shouldn't because of those reasons, right? I mean, you have so many things you have to do to execute to be good, to be really good.
I think Ian Kennedy said it the best, the pitcher for the San Diego Padres. When he went from the Yankees to the Padres, they asked him and said, you know, you're having your big year. He won 20 games for Arizona first before he went to San Diego. And they said, what's the difference between the Yankees being over here? He says, I have to hit. And me going up there and hit, I realize it's really hard. So I have been a little more aggressive.
That's a good point. Big Black is rushing it up then.
Yeah, he is.
98?
No,
99?
He can hit 3 digits. He can do it every once in a while. He's a right-hander from Texas. I mean, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
They must be in the water or something. Another fastball popped up to the right side. Right in the sun, though, for first baseman Brandon Allen. But no problem as he puts it away for the second out. There's a name that we've heard passed along with some been around baseball, Vinny Rotino. I think he would play for the Mets also at some point. He's got a bat that plays. His issue has always been finding that position where he can play. Every once in a while, I'll see a pitcher that should be from the Ivy League. Now, this guy should be the Ivy League. Preston Claiborne is his name. I mean, that if that's not a Choate or Avon Old Farms and straight on to Harvard, then there's never been a name. It's interesting to watch the relief pitchers. They all have a very similar, not similar, each have their own tick. Things that they do in between pitches. If you watch Black, he always grips it with a change-up grip. He usually takes it and wipes his face with his jersey. Once he's looking at the sign, he holds his hat. I mean, he'll do that every single time. It's just part of getting ready.
And most of them, you ask them about it, they go, do I do that?
Yeah, no, they have no idea they're doing it. I played with Randy Myers. I don't know if you remember him. He saved a lot of games, Cubs, Reds, etc. Left-hander. He had to walk around the mound, and there were 7 things that he'd have to do. And they were so funny that after a while, some people, especially on the road, would start counting. 1, 2, 3, because he had to do 7 things every time. Good breaking ball there in the dirt. That's what we're talking about as he's rung up. Nice breaking ball by Vic Black to end the 8th inning for the Marlins. 13-2 still for the Marlins. Get to Citi Field in 2015 for Family Sundays, which feature family-themed entertainment on Mets Plaza before the game and cool giveaways. Plus, after the game, kids run the bases in the Mr. Met Dash. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Family Sundays. Preston Claiborne, sorry Preston, we were making fun of you before, but you're in the game. Dallas, Texas, 6'2", 225. I like that thing. MLB experience, a little over a year for Mr. Claiborne. Matt Dendecker with a nice day today, a triple and a walk, 1 for 1 and 2 runs. A blast to center field off the bat of Dendecker. Will he continue his fine day? He will, as that bounces off the wall. Advances to the left fielder who backed it up nicely, throws it in, and holds Dendecker to just a double.
Good base running right there by Dendecker. Plays in front of him. He wants to go 3 in that situation. He did earlier. But right here, you see the ball carry him off the wall. Outfielder's backing him up right here. Wilson can't come up with it, but the right thing is the outfielder come up and Dendecker stops at second base. Those are all things when you talk about fundamentals, Ronnie, that's what you want to see in a baseball game. At the big league level, you should see that more so than we do, I guess, sometimes.
Well, you know what's amazing is that when you watch Dendecker play, we talked about the options, so he probably is going to start in AAA, but he's a major league player.
Yeah,
he should be playing for someone.
Yes.
Boy, there's some big hacks in this ball game by the players. Gavin Cecchini with a big hack. Everyone knows, the hitters know when the wind's blowing.
Oh, you know when the wind's blowing.
It's late in the game.
Out.
It's 13-2. What else do you want to do?
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Another one, always look at when a guy comes in late in the game and you go, oh, he's not a flamethrower. He's not throwing 98.
Yeah.
I can swing at the guy throwing 85 to 88. I can go for it on the down. I can go for the downs.
Yeah.
You know, the first 2 pitches.
Ground ball right to the third baseman. Nice play by Scott Sizemore. And there's the first out of the inning. I remember Bobby Valentine was, I said, explain hitting to me. I did a little bit of it 100 years ago. Tell me what you're thinking about when you're hitting. He said, when you stand in that batter's box, your first thought is, where's that ball? Is it going to hit me in the head? Okay, it's not. That's cool. Second thought, is it spinning or is it straight? And if it's spinning or straight, where is it going to end up? And that's where I'm going to end up with the bat.
There it is.
And it seems simple when it says it like that, right?
It seems very simple.
Other than getting hit in the head in the first part, but.
No, it's simple too. And we saw last show Giancarlo, and still to this day, if you asked him, I guarantee he would probably tell you that, you know what, I just didn't see the ball.
Yeah. You know what the hardest pitch, and I don't know a righty on lefty, and you probably don't see this much pitch lefty on lefty, but if you're a right-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher, and it's supposed to be a cutter, and you see cutter coming out of their hand, you can read the cutter because he's that good of a hitter. Puello here with a ground ball to third base. Shortstop Nola with the play to third. Sizemore running back. Dendecker and tags him. Not a good base running play by Dendecker. So the plus and minus is even now.
We just talked about the fundamentals right here. Dendecker cannot get caught in the middle right here. You see the ball's hit right in front of you. You always taught if it's to the right side, go back to second base. His situation got caught up. Trying to do too much.
There's a pop-up by Tejada. The center field, Wilson with the catch. And that will end this 8th inning as the Mets are down by 11 runs, 13-2.
Alexa.
Today at 5:30, Chris Carlin and Adam Shine will have all the latest news from Mets and Yankee spring training with insider info and exclusive interviews straight from camp on Loudmouths, presented by Caesars, Atlantic City. Today at 5:30, only on SNY. You see the new pitcher for the Mets, Carlos Torres. Mr. Everything for the Mets. Pitch from the bullpen. He can start. And he's facing the largest person I've ever seen in the history of baseball in a uniform, Justin Bohr.
Look at that little helmet on his head.
Ground ball to the right side. Tejada with the two-hopper. Easy play to first base as Torres gets the first out here in the top of the ninth. As Austin waits up for the Marlins. Came in to pinch run earlier in the game. And then went to left field. His first at bat.
Talk about Bohr being as big as he is. I played with a Cal Banks in San Diego.
Oh, the human muscle.
I mean, I'm talking about when he got his batting gloves. He asked me for a pair of batting gloves in camp, and I go, here you go. He goes, oh, no, you know what? Those won't fit my hand. I go, these are the biggest things. I mean, what?
And you're a big guy. And
yeah. And so I asked him right now, I said, hey, well, what did you do then? He goes, oh, I get mine made. They're just not here yet.
Oh,
so
God.
Franklin Batting Gloves made his gloves. So they had to make them because they didn't make them that big.
That's like Bruce Bochy for the San Francisco Giants. When he played, he had to have his own helmet made because his head was 8 3/4.
Yeah, I would agree with that one with Bochy.
Nice pitch by Torres. That little cutter inside gets Waits looking for the second out. Carlos Torres continues his torrid pitching. Nice little cutter slider inside. Austin Nola at the plate. I misidentified him before as playing third base. He was the shortstop. Came in the pinch run for Brignac earlier in the game. As Austin's numbers last year with the Jacksonville Suns, AA. Just up the road. Well, not just up the road. Florida's forever. Drive to right field. It's going to fall in front of Cesar Puello. As Nola here in the ninth inning. It's one of those bats that you usually give up, but you're not going to give up if you're a young guy trying to make a ball club and he gets a base hit.
I don't care what the scoreboard looks like. He ain't look at the scoreboard when he got in that box. He wanted a knock.
There's Tyler Colvin. 57 games, a lot of them off the bench. It's almost called the natural when he first came up, right, Cliff?
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Colby Rasmus for the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe not defensively, doesn't have the speed, but that like perfect swing that just hasn't translated so far for either player. Shouldn't say that. Translated the way you thought it would translate for either player.
I think Colby a little bit more than Tyler. I think when you look back at Tyler's situation, you know, you have to make them put you in line consistent because you have the talent. You know, guys are going to come in and try to outshine you as well. You have prospects that come in. You have guys that come in. And listen, nobody's going to just give you the job. They want to play just as much as Tyler wants to play. So, you know, you just haven't seen him be the guy, like you said, that they thought they was going to get. And as you see him take a walk right there. But, you know, this game still has space for you if you have the talent and still go out there and, you know, want to do it.
You know, the most difficult part of this game, it's the toughest scrum in the world, is that when you go into spring training, whether you're in the minor league or major league camp, you're in camp with everybody was the greatest player from their county, state, little league, high school, whatever. They're all the best of the best. So you get them all together, you realize, boy, that guy runs faster than me. He hits the ball faster than me, further than me. I'm going to have to figure this out. Swing and a miss there for strike one for Torres.
I think the biggest thing for me, Ronnie, was, you know, understanding the weak part, the weaknesses. Understanding you can't be weak-minded in this game. You're going to fail so much that you have to be able to come out and forget about yesterday and get it done.
You've got to have a swagger when you're 0 for 4 as much as you have a swagger when you're 4 for 4. You know, when you're 4 for 4, you're humble. I did the thing I was supposed to do today. I got some base hits. When you're 0 for 4, pitchers got lucky today. I'll make up for it. I remember when I used to be chased off the mound after giving up 5 or 6 runs in 3-4 innings, and the Boo Birds came out. As you were walking to the mound, you would pick one person in the mound and said, this is never going to happen to me again. It does,
right?
But that's your thought. This is never going to happen to me again. Good curveball by Torres. A pitch he does not use that often. We'll see that pitch more when he gets that occasional start. He had one last year on no days rest. Pitch relief one day, and the next day they asked him to start, and he said, okay, that's fine. But he'll use that pitch more, and maybe you'll see it more in spring training as he works on it. 2 in a row for the strikeout from Torres. Good block by Johnny Monell, and the play to first base to end the top of the 9th. 13-2, still Marlins against the Mets. At 10:30, Geico's Sports Night at 10:30. Reaction from the clubhouse after today's game won't be a lot. The Islanders-Rangers preview, we're going to try to get some of the guys together to watch that tomorrow night. And boy, the tragedy with Chris Johnson and the shooting. We'll give an update on Geico Sports Night at 10:30 tonight. Eric Campbell up for the Mets. Andrew McCarahan and the lefty for the Marlins.
Well, these are always those tough at-bats late in the game. You have to sit here for 3 hours and wait for an at-bat if you Eric Campbell. And I know this is his role, but it's totally different in certain situations, especially in spring training.
But can't you play mind games with yourself and say, I'm Eric Campbell, I'm going to be a guy coming off the bench, but Carahan might be a guy that comes up for the Marlins during the course of the season. I might have to face him. This is that bat I'll put in my brain and make sure I remember what kind of stuff he throws, how hard he throws, what kind of tilt to his breaking ball, those kind of things that might help you later in the summer.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
I think that this, you have to play those mind games. When you think about DH and Ronnie, you think about all the things that go into the game and how, it functions throughout the 9 innings. This is that type of situation. But, it's just sitting here for 2.5 hours like, oh, my goodness. I got to go ahead and want to have a good at-bat. And that was a tough pitch right there, but these are at-bats you want to work. This is what, if I'm Kevin Long, I want to look for in my guy, late in the games, the quality of bat you giving me, to get on that base and help our team.
Well, you usually get it from Campbell, who's a pretty professional player for such a young player.
That's called working that bat right there. No swings. You see 7 pitches.
And he had a ball called on the inside corner for a strike earlier, but that one not. Alex Castellanos in for the Mets. A couple of days ago, he was hit on the finger on a hit-by pitch. Contusion. X-rays were negative, but he's back in the ball game. And a bullet to left field. This will drop down. One hops the wall. Austin Waits makes the play, throws it in. And a stand-up double for beautiful hitting there by Castellanos.
Well, if you don't get hit on the fingers, you might want to get hit a little bit more. He stays through this baseball nice. Sits on the backside, follows through, and gets himself a nice little double down the line.
Well, here's Matt Reynolds, 1 for 2 with a single.
You hear the crowd a little bit saying, we want Matt Reynolds. Hey,
you hit a walk-off home run, you do a couple of things, and all of a sudden, the faithful get behind you.
See the backside of Matt Reynolds right here on that follow-through. This is what you want. You see the front side opens up, stays on it, eyes on the contact position. But that dip in the backside that allows you to stay through it is always. Everything is about the hips. The hands will follow, Ronnie, all the time. You know, these hitters get caught up in getting my hands to the baseball. Get those hips into the baseball, and I guarantee those hands will follow. You saw a nice little finish right there.
Strong foundation for a pitcher, strong foundation for a hitter. It's the whole thing. Carahan with that inside strike. Reynolds thinking one thing here. Who cares what the score is? Base hit for 2 ribbies.
He'll take it all day.
Lays off that tough fastball. Carahan sneaky. Get that good fastball upstairs.
Real deliberate to the plate, and then he comes out with that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball. You go, hey, where that's coming from?
Ooh. That's that little cutter slider that McCarahan has used inside. He got the call to Eric Campbell earlier in the game. He got 2 of these called against Matt Reynolds. Reynolds sees it as inside. I'll agree with him. Tough that pitch is inside.
Yeah. Ronnie, and that last pitch, I know we won't be able to sit on replay, so I won't ask the fellas to replay it. But that sun went right behind a cloud as he was getting ready to pitch and take that. And Reynolds, you could see it on his glove. You could see it. And I saw it because it got a little darker. And that pitch, wow. I'm not saying, little things like that knock you off as a hitter.
John Mayberry Jr. pulls his fouls. He's trying to lead the Mets and get a record for the most spring training at-bats for the Mets.
As we see the sun now reappears.
Yeah. Late in the day, you get some of those shadows.
Great camera view from our folks over here.
Fastball down the middle, but Mayberry pops it up. Stays in the infield. Austin Nola with the play. And still second and third, but now with 2 outs for McCarahan and the Marlins.
You tell that hitter in me, huh, Ronnie, that that ball was right there for him to hit over into those backfields.
That's the thing you forget about as a pitcher sometimes. You know, you guys have guys on second and third, and after the game you go, you know what, I did pretty good today. I got him out. You know what, but you gave up a ball right down the middle that could have been a 3-run bomb. So sometimes you get away with a bad pitch. Good breaking ball there, though.
I always say this, when you have a guy on the mound like this, he should always believe that he has that extra oomph behind it, that 93, 94. Trust that you can get that pop-up, by throwing a ball that a guy thinks he should crush.
Well, we were talking about before, it's 13-2, so the game's out of reach. So the hitters are trying to get their hits and do whatever. It doesn't matter what the score is. But McKirahan's out there, too. He's trying to get up a scoreless inning. So it doesn't matter what the score is.
That to me is why it's so important, especially in spring training, to have a guy in the bullpen, your bullpen coach, and they have a good one in Reed Cornelius, who I played with in the minors, that tells you, hey, the score is 0-0. Do not look at this as a 13-2 score.
Nice job by Johnny Monell to take that breaking ball up. Should get a fastball here at 3-1 in a 13-2 game. And he did, but good spot by McKirahan. That fastball up, called a strike by Ed Hickox, and this game is over. McKirahan with a strikeout of Johnny Monell, and the Marlins had it all working today. 12 hits and 13 runs, beat the Mets 13-2. Not a lot of great things happened for the Mets today, Cliff.
No, it didn't. And
you see the summary here, bud. Miami Marlins 13 hits on 12 runs. Mets 2 runs on 7 hits. What do you think of today's game? One of those games, right, Cliff?
Yeah, it happens in spring training. I guess you want to get these shellackings over with early in spring. But, again, not a lot of runs on the board. Did get a couple hits by the Mets. But the Marlins came out, and they took advantage of some opportunities.
Well, New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Lexus, the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event. Now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer. By Baha Mar, the Bahamian Riviera. By Land Rover. Visit your local certified pre-owned Land Rover tri-state retailer. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Here's the final score again, 13-2. The beach is fun, but it wasn't so much fun here at Tradition Field. But Thursday, back on SNY as the Washington Nationals play the New York Mets at 1 o'clock. For Steve Gelbs and Cliff Floyd, thanks a lot, Cliff, the production truck. I'm Ron Darling.